Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to my video channel. This video is just made to show some of the latest record purchases that I've made. We both have reissues and original issues from the time. The first one is one of my favorite Elvis Costello albums, All This Useless Beauty from 1996. It was issued last year on vinyl by the Music on Vinyl people, and it's, as I said, it's one of my absolute favorite albums, and with probably my number one favorite with Elvis Costello, although there are many who are fighting for that position. I wish that the pressing would have been made with a little more care. It is okay, although for some reason I feel that it could sound even better than it does. Especially since I've been able to compare it with the CD. Right, then we have two albums with Weird Al Yankovic, the great music parodist who's coming to Sweden soon for a concert here, and I'm sure that'll be really fun, and I'm happy that it seems like he's doing better than ever before. I mean, quite a long time since he was discovered by Dr. Demento back in the 1970s. This is, I think, his second LP, Weird Al Yankovic in 3D, and this is even worse. And you can see who he is parodying on the sleeve here. Well, Michael Jackson, of course, and well, from what I've heard, Michael Jackson really loved the parodies made of him, and that shows that he had a great sense of humor, if nothing else. Okay. Then we have this album with the Brazilian singer Elias Regina. The record itself is from 1974, although this may be an 80s pressing. It's there's a little sticker on the back sleeve that gives you that impression. Elias Regina is my favorite singer among the Brazilian singers. She passed away way too early, but she has sort of rhythmical musical style that made her the best singer in the 60s, 70s and early 80s. Right. This album has been out for a while. Am I holding it the right way? Yeah. It's a Swedish group called Skenet, and their first album called Allting Rullar, and they mix Swedish folk music together with well, rock and roll elements, progressive, what you could really call folk rock, without thinking about birds and stuff like that. They mix Swedish folk music with rock, a bit like the Swedish group Kebnekaise. And this is their first album, and I have to say I really like it. It is issued by Subliminal Sound, who have issued lots of other interesting records. The Gump series, and, well, of course, Kebnekaise. So, glad to find that. Then we have a comedy album, National Lampoons. That's not funny, that's sick. And this is a British pressing of the Raider label. I have several of their albums. Not all of them are that incredibly good. This is one of the okay-ish ones, but there are those who are both better and worse. From the National Lampoon gang, we have here, well, Bill Murray, of course, who's still very famous and popular, and we have also Christopher Guest that we've seen in other different TV shows and comedies. Yep. Then we have, I was happy to find their first album some time ago, The Grims. This group with, well, we have Neil Innes, we have Roger McGough, Zoot Money, Michael Giles. And they mixed comedy with rock and poetry, and in a quite interesting way. I think they made 2 albums, and this is the second one. The first one I got hold of some months ago. I think I've showed it here too. Right, over to another CD favorite of mine. This album with Arne Domerus Quartet called Sabra. It's a CD favorite because I bought it on a CD maybe 20 years ago. It was a reissue then, of course. This is the original from 1975. Arne Domerus, the great jazz saxophone player, made loads of great albums, but I think this is one of his best, in my humble opinion anyway. Right, where to now? Yeah, I had the great luck to find some really nice records with 1960s soul. To just see if I can sit a bit more comfortable here. First of all, we have Spanish Harlem by Ben E. King. And this album is from 1961. I think it is a second pressing. It's a stereo pressing though, on the Atco label. Then we have Percy Sledge, who passed away recently. Rest in peace. When a Man Loves a Woman. Picture of Percy Sledge on the back, but not on the front. We have a beautiful woman there instead. According to the label, this we have the boxed fan label. Those of you who are into record labels know what I'm talking about here. Others of you can just ignore it. And the boxed fan label was started being used by the time of when this record was released, originally in 1966. So I think we can rule it as a first or maybe second pressing. It's in great condition though. Right, then we have Hairstyles by the Terminal Barbershop. I don't know that much about this group, but the material on this album on Atco from 1969 is material from the hippie musical Hair, of course. Let the Sun Shine In, Good Morning Star, Shine, Aquarius, Hair, and so on. But I don't know that much about this group, whether it was some sort of temporary group or whether it was actually a group that made more records than this one. I haven't checked that out. Right, Arthur Conley, More Sweet Soul from 1969. We have songs like Obladi Oblada on this album. Arthur Conley, of course, he had his big hit with soul. It's called soul music. Not sure. He later moved to Holland and even changed his name there, which is a bit strange. But he passed away some years ago. Great singer, great album on the Atco label. And then we have Barbara Lewis, Working on a Groovy Thing from 1968 on Atlantic. I don't know that much about Barbara Lewis actually. She's not one of the most famous singers among the Atlantic stable, so to speak. But really great album, great singer. And finally, we have another Barbara Mason, Gimme Your Love. It's on Kama Sutra and it's from 1972. This was still sealed when I bought it. So when I opened it up, well, apart from the record, of course, I found this. If you want to have her picture standing on your desk, you can do it like this. Quite fun, actually. I didn't expect that. And this is, of course, soul, very seductive, very romantic. You can tell that on the sleeve, since she forgot to put her pants on. But lovely album. I'm very happy I found it. There. That's it for now.